Hello, I wanted to just do a short video concerning renewable energy. I've been watching some films today, certainly, you know, talking about oil and oil reserves and speculation on Venezuelan oil and Canadian oil, United States oil. And what I realized today was that even with oil right now, they're saying it's around 58, 59 a barrel of oil. The point is here again is that I think the solution, even the point that the pundits that talk about energy, especially with oil, is that the price of oil is down because the demand is down because uh, let's there's a lot of people that are unemployed. People aren't traveling anywhere because of higher gas prices, and even though with the demand or the barrel of oil being 58, 59 uh, dollars a barrel, uh, has anyone noticed the price of oil is not really that low? It's still around, upper 270, 280. With it being 58, it should be a little bit down, maybe a little bit like 222, 230. And here's the point that I want to make about this is just here again, when we're talking about renewable energy, those costs definitely will be, would be in the beginning would probably be higher because initially we don't have the infrastructure. But I think right now that with gas barrel of oil being cheaper, you would think the gas prices per gallon would be or even a liter if you're talking should be lower, significantly lower, and it's just not. And the point that I make on that, if we get into renewable energies, and what do I mean by renewable energies is we do, and I'm talking about mass transit as well. If we get into mass transit, solar, wind, and then offer R&D, which is research and development, into to these companies to come up with more efficient cars, hybrid cars. For instance, today I got on a hybrid bus. Now they're making hybrid buses, which are lowering the consumption of oil. And remember, and I said this yesterday, that the United States is the United States and China are two of the biggest countries with with the big consumption of oil, and the point is even that would create our CO2, emissions in the air. If we could just go to more of a cheaper type of uh, uh, energy, such as more information into hybrid cars, hybrid buses, create mass transit, and really the infrastructure we can, right now, we can use the rails system, and we have the commitment of Amtrak, but the Amtrak is not as efficient as it could be in certain other areas. But I mean, along the East Coast, it works like from Washington, New York, Boston, that type of thing. And they've got a lot of electrical and high efficient Amtrak there. But if we could set up that kind of system that we could go west, then the cost, such as diesel and regular gasoline, would be cheaper. I haven't, to be honest with you, I did not look at airplane prices, but my guess is that they've pretty well have stayed constant too, because with uh, gas below, you would think that gases would be uh, more. But the other issue that I'd like to address with that is we would this would be the pivotal time with gas prices being low to capitalize on renewable energies, because then we can use that renewable, since we can get more oil, we can put that more in the reserves, oil reserves, just in case of an emergency. But like I said, I think the best solution is, electric cars, hybrid cars, for the short term, because really at some point the the powers oil will be gone. And now, like I said, we reached our peak of conventional oil in the early 1970s. Worldwide, I think like around 28, 2008, 2010, somewhere in there, that we reached our peak on conventional and the unconventional oil, which I consider fracking, that we are not reached our peak. But the issue becomes now that if the oil prices go any lower, then we'll have to, because I believe when the gas prices of oil, if it would go down to $52, the profit wise, or the efficiency of fracking would not make it worthwhile. And there again, economically, unconventional oil, because you got to shoot water or solvents into the ground, which to me is, I know is an environmental catastrophe waiting to happen. So here again, the issue becomes, at this point, excuse me, we should start looking at putting more money in it. And my concern is that I sent an op piece off to the New York Times, now whether they publish it or not, and I sent an op piece off for the Inquirer, whether we can convert that this time right now into energy, and that the energy department or energy sector under the Trump administration should look at this time uh, of looking into renewables. I know the Trump administration, or at least President Trump, has a fascination with windmills, and the point is, windmill, I think, is an alternative that works, even though he has an issue or a fascination with them. Um, the issue is, I think it's worthwhile to invest more into that, invest more into solar, invest into other sources of energy, to biomass, and offer companies. And I'm big on capital improvements, or I'm big in the capitalist society. If, as a nation, we devote more time things into research and development, offer tax abatement for companies to come up with efficient ways more into renewable energy, efficient more ways to create mass transit, I think that's a plus for the American people. Plus, it creates jobs. We always hear that, the conventional, unconventional creates jobs, but if the oil prices are low, the jobs aren't going to be there. And I was listened to an energy pundit today that was saying there some of the jobs have been cut back because the oil prices are so low currently right now. And the issue becomes, if and I'll watch something out of Canada, they're worried about their oil in British Columbia and Alberta, because if the United States gets the Venezuela oil, they're worried about that. That's going to cut them out. But then there's issues to where they could sell to China and Russia. But then that creates issues with the Trump administration, because the fact of the matter is that I think part of this issue becomes with Trump's fascination with China and their interaction with oil in the Western Hemisphere. So, anyway, these are just some food for thoughts. Um, Please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Please like and subscribe below. It really helps helps my audience if you can really help me out. Anyway, hope to talk to you real soon, and have a great day.